It begins without warning. 1 second, your world hums with background noise, fridge buzzing, streetlights glowing, phone charging on the nightstand. The next, silence, darkness. A city that never sleeps suddenly blinks out like someone pulled the plug on existence. At first, it feels like a blackout. Annoying, sure, but nothing unusual. You reach for your phone, expecting to see the familiar glow. Except the screen stays black. You press harder, hold down the button, nothing. You check the wall socket, still nothing. Across the street, a neighbor steps out onto their porch, waving their dead phone like it's a magic trick gone wrong. Down the block, car engines refuse to turn over, their dashboards lifeless. Traffic lights freeze mid-cycle, then vanish into shadow. The low rumble of the city fades into a strange, heavy quiet. Within minutes, the first hints creep in that this isn't just a routine outage. Your radio alarm clock? Dead. The gas pump across town? Frozen. The digital screen dark. Airplanes overhead begin circling, unable to land safely without guidance systems. In hospitals, monitors blink off mid-surgery. Backup generators groan to life, if they start at all. Elevators halt between floors. Trains stop mid-track. Passengers trapped inside. Confusion sets in. Neighbors wander outside, scanning the horizon. The night sky, usually painted with a haze of city lights, is darker than you've ever seen. Stars burning clear and sharp. Someone mutters the word nobody wants to say. EMP. Someone else insists it's a cyber attack. But the truth is, no one knows. And yet, life doesn't pause to wait for explanations. People need oxygen machines. Babies need formula. Dinner burns on stoves that suddenly quit. The world has stopped, but the demands of being human haven't. Within 30 minutes, the first signs of panic start to ripple. Gas station lines grow as word spreads that pumps aren't working. ATMs refuse to give out cash. Grocery stores, still lit by dim emergency lights, are flooded with people grabbing water, bread, and canned food before the shelves vanish. And by the end of the first hour, reality sets in. This isn't a blackout you'll sleep through and laugh about in the morning. This is something bigger, something deeper, something designed to last. The power grid hasn't just failed, it's gone. By the second hour, denial fades. This isn't a storm outage, and it isn't coming back anytime soon. Traffic clogs every major road. Drivers sit stranded in lifeless cars, honking in frustration, some abandoning vehicles to walk. Gas stations are useless without power. The pumps sit idle. Public transit freezes. Subways are pitch-black tunnels. Trains stalled miles from stations. Thousands of passengers are trapped, waiting for a rescue that isn't coming quickly. Inside hospitals, backup generators groan under the strain. ICU machines draw precious fuel from tanks that might last a day, 2 at best. Staff rush between wards, triaging patients, praying the power holds. But already, dispatch lines are jammed. Ambulances that can still run face gridlocked streets, trapped in the same chaos as everyone else. By the 4th hour, the digital silence becomes deafening. Phones don't connect. The internet is gone. Radios sputter static. Television screens remain black. Families separated by work or school have no way of knowing if their loved ones are safe. People begin to realize they are on their own. Supermarkets see the first wave of desperation. Aisles, once orderly, descend into chaos. Shelves of bottled water, rice, bread, and canned food are stripped bare in minutes. Managers scribble cash only on cardboard signs, but with ATMs down and card readers dead, cash itself is vanishing. By hour 6, the sun dips low and fear sharpens. Police cruisers idle at intersections, trying to keep order, but radios crackle unreliably. Small fights break out in parking lots over bottled water and gasoline cans. Rumors swirl unchecked, whispered in lines, shouted across crowded stores. It's terrorists. The government shut it down. The banks are collapsing. Night falls without warning, darker than anyone has ever seen. No streetlights, no neon signs, no glow from windows, just stars and silence, broken only by distant sirens or the shouts of neighbors in the dark. In the suburbs, families huddle in living rooms, lighting candles, rationing food. Parents whisper lies of reassurance to children. It'll be back by morning. But the fear in their eyes betrays them. In apartments, people stack furniture against doors, unsure if the danger is outside or within. By the 12th hour, exhaustion sets in. The modern world, the one built on electricity, on constant connection, has collapsed in less than half a day. And somewhere, in government bunkers and military bases, leaders are already whispering the same words. This was no accident. By the dawn of the second day, the blackout is no longer an inconvenience. It's a new reality. Markets don't open. Flights stay grounded. Fuel convoys crawl under armed escort, but many never arrive. Pharmacies lock their doors after shelves are stripped bare. Hospitals run on fumes, their generators coughing, their halls packed with patients the staff can't save. City water systems sputter as pumps fail. Faucets groan, spitting out brown trickles, or nothing at all. Trash piles up, uncollected, the smell of rot thickening in the summer heat. Families ration water by the cup, staring at toilets they no longer dare to flush. By the 36th hour, the thin line of social order stretches. Police are exhausted, outnumbered. Some stations go dark. National Guard units deploy, not to fight, but to calm. Soldiers stand on corners, rifles slung, trying to project control they don't fully feel. Yet in some neighborhoods, the opposite happens. Lights return, not from the grid, but from human resilience. Generators hum in community centers. Volunteers hand out bottled water. Churches open basements as shelters. Whiteboards nailed to telephone poles carry updates. Clinic open, boil water advisory, curfew at 9. These little sparks of order push back against the spreading dark. But in other corners of the city, panic metastasizes. Gas siphoning turns into street fights. Looting spreads from grocery aisles to homes. A single gunshot echoes across blocks, and fear multiplies. For the first time, people realize the government may not be able to save everyone. By the 48th hour, two paths emerge. The plateau, where people adapt, ration, cooperate, and survival becomes organized. Or the spiral, where fear curdles into anger, and anger explodes into violence. Which path you find depends less on luck than on leadership. Who you trust, who you follow, who keeps the calm when the world tilts toward chaos. And by the 72nd hour, the stakes are brutally clear. If calm holds, if supply chains twitch back to life, if diplomacy prevents wider conflict, the blackout may mark a crisis, not an ending. But if order crumbles, if violence spreads, if silence deepens, what began as a blackout becomes something else entirely. Not just the end of power, the end of normal, the beginning of survival.